Hello students, welcome to our YouTube channel. Intelligence Bureau ACIO Grade 2 notification was released. The total number of posts announced 995. ACIO stands for Assistant Central Intelligence Officer. Let us look at the key details of the notification. We look at important dates. We will also cover salary levels here. We will also look at salary levels, tentative vacancies, eligibility criteria, exam pattern, cut-off marks and the selection process, how to apply and the application fee. If you look at the important dates, online registration and payment of fee online mode is through SBI ePay Lite payment. You can do it from 25th November to 15th December. So applying online and paying through SBI Challan only through office branches. Here the last date to submit is 19th December. Online exam dates tier 1, tier 2 will be announced soon. Most likely the exam would be in 3rd week, 4th week of January. Right? Tier 2, tier 3 will be communicated to students through email, the dates later on. Now if you look at salary level, if you observe here, it is pay scale level 7. This is a grade pay, 44,900 to 1,42,400 is the pay matrix. Now basic pay 44,900, you have to add 46% DA, that amount is given here, 20,654. Then special security allowance, because this is an IB post, you will also say what you call special security allowance here of rupees 8,980. Then DA, it is HRA, it is depending on your tier X city, tier Y city, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 city. That is his in the notification is given as tier X or tier Y, tier Z cities. It is 9%, 18% and 27%. Transport allowance 3,600 plus DA and 3,600. Other places 1,800 plus DA 1,800. Almost it is 50%. So you can add 1,800 plus 2,700. It would be roughly little less than that. 3,600 and half of that is 5,400. Little less than that. Roughly I am talking about. Then government contribution towards national pension scheme is rupees 6,286. If you add all these for tier X cities, it will come around 1 lakh rupee. By the time you join, it's almost one more year, so it may go up slightly. It may go up by another 10 to 15,000. It may go up. All salaries on all bands, all cities, it may go up by 10 to 15,000, because I'm talking about by the time you join, complete the process, recruitment done, training done. By the time you join, I'm talking about it may go up. As on today, this according to the figures given there, these are rough salaries, right? So 95,000 for tier Y cities and tier Z cities, it will be roughly around 90,000 rupees. A very decent salary to start with. And also, if you look at the kind of job, here in IB you will have desk job as well as field job, sometimes both. Right? This is about salary. Apart from this, you also have perks. If you look at here, you will be getting annual increment, medical facilities for you and your dependent parents, children, etc. LTC facilities for yourself and your dependent family members. That is leave travel allowance. You can take a you can go to a place. You can according to the expense, you can go there in anywhere in India. You can spend your holiday there. Then children education allowance will be given. Then government accommodation. This is subject to availability. If it is available, there will be quarters. You will be getting a quarter also. But if you observe here, if you are working on weekends, holidays, you can also get cash compensation ceiling of 30 days. That means you can get 13 months salary. That means if you work on holidays, if you work on weekends, you can get another 1 month salary extra. That means in a year you can get 13 months salary. Now when you look at this, these are additional perks you are getting apart from the monthly salary. If you look at total number of vacancies here, total number of vacancies 995. According to category, unreserved 377, EWS 129, OBC 222, SC 134 and ST 133. Maybe last time when the notification was out, there were almost double the number of posts, but this time there are 1000 posts. But definitely you have to try. It is more very lucrative post, and you will be having a decent salary and other perks if you join this particular IBACIO officer, right? Let us look at eligibility criteria. Date as on 15th December, minimum 18 years and cutoff age is 27 years. And education qualification also, as on 15 December, you should be a graduate from a recognized university, and knowledge of computers is desirable. It is not saying mandatory, it is saying desirable. You should have the basic knowledge of computers. Most of us, we might have come across computers as one of the subjects in your school days or college level. That is more than sufficient. In case you don't have that computer knowledge as a subject, don't worry. Once you are recruited, again you will be put through training of that computer knowledge also. If you have that knowledge, that is desirable, but it is not mandatory. Having knowledge is not mandatory, it is desirable. Then, selection process. We have tier 1 online mode, objective type questions. We'll look at the pattern in the next slide. Tier 2 is a descriptive writing. It is not for everyone. Those who have cleared only tier 1 exam will be writing their tier 2 exam, and tier 3 is interview plus, I can say, document verification. Interview plus document verification. 3 stages of exam, right? So those who clear tier 1, he will call you for tier 2. Those who clear tier 2 will be called for tier 3. This is tier 1 online mode exam, objective test. If you look at this pattern, maybe we have 5 sections here. Apart from that, if you look at the pattern, it resembles your SSC CGLE pattern, right? Now, if you don't have this general awareness part, if I remove this, quant, reasoning, English, GK, right? There we have 25, 25, 25, 25, 100 questions in SSC tier 1, but we have 5 sections with each 20, 20, 20, 20 questions. General awareness, most of the time this would be your current affairs. Current affairs. Now, if you observe, so total duration is 1 hour. If you observe last year when the exam was conducted in the year 2021, February, if I remember correctly, then he has covered last 1 year events. So when the exam is in the month of January, I am saying all these 2023, 1st Jan 2023 till 31st December 2023, you have to be thorough with all the current affairs. Maybe the questions may be, I am saying broadly 1 year, right? Behind that is little unlikely, but last special focus on the last 6 months or last 4 months or 6 months. You need to be very thorough, but to be on safe side, study last 1 year current affairs. Assuming exam in January 3rd week, 4th week, I can say 1st January 23 till 31st December 23 is what you need to look at for your current affairs preparation. There are a lot of sources. On our website also, we are having daily GA updates, we are having weekly quizzes, we are having monthly updates, we are having current affairs uploaded on our YouTube channel regularly every week. So if you follow this, that will take care of your current affair preparation. Now when it comes to your general studies, there will be questions on general science and social studies. You will have questions on physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, then history, geography, polity, constitution, name area, there will be a question. The level of difficulty is only 10th standard level. No students, don't read graduation level or your state level public service commission or your UPSC level, not required. It is only your 10th class level biology, 10th class level zoology, 10th class level physics, chemistry, geography, history, polity, constitution, civics, economics, everything is only of your 10th class level. Keep that point in mind. Don't go for higher difficulty levels. You are not writing any UPSC exam or state level public service commission exam. There you need to prepare more. You need to write descriptive essays, descriptive answers. So there the level of preparation, the difficulty level is different compared to this exam. So whatever you are preparing for staff selection commission, the level, it is more than sufficient for general studies here, students. Then quant. Most of the questions are arithmetic questions. Most of them. Plus DI. If you observe last year, we had about 3 to 4 questions on DI. But you have commercial method, what you call questions like commercial mathematics, arithmetic. I am calling up to you, we call it as equations, ratio, proportion, variation, time, speed and distance, time and work, mensuration, averages, mixes, allocation, percentages, profit and loss. You don't have algebra, pure maths, little unlikely. Maybe if you observe last time there was one odd question on statistics, but generally if you observe the paper, pure maths and algebra, almost I can say nil questions, but maximum number of questions will be from your arithmetic. Then one special important information about your reasoning, all your reasoning topics of staff selection commission holds good here also. Series, analogies, what you call coding, decoding, sequence, then you have set of numbers, then you have non-verbal reasoning, direction sense, blood relations, all these topics of your tier 1 or can appear, the questions will appear in your IBSC, similar pattern. But when you observe very closely, I am saying almost your tier 1 level is sufficient. Maybe you take your quant or reasoning or English, tier 1 level is sufficient. But when you observe reasoning, what we have observed is reasoning is slightly, I am saying you cannot differentiate, slightly higher level compared to your tier 1, far less than your tier 2. So slightly higher level, but don't worry, I am saying tier 1 level will take care of your reasoning preparation also. Then in English language, you have questions, you don't have RC, please keep that point in mind. You don't have last year, when I am looking at your last year paper, you don't have questions on cloze test. Then you have questions on synonyms, you have questions on antonyms, you have questions on spellings, one word substitute. Then you have questions on error identification, phrase replacement, your questions on paraforming questions, right? 4 sentences, A, B, C, D, arrange them in order. All these questions are there in English language. The level of difficulty, even I can say equal to your tier 1 or slightly less than your tier 1 level only, right? So very easy to crack this exam. Only thing is that you need to focus more on your current affairs and general studies students. This is broad idea about your tier 1 paper pattern, which is an online mode test and objective test. Right, that's what I have written here in the summary. Pattern similar to SSC CGLE. There will be a negative marking of 1/4. If 1 mark is for correct answer, 0.25 will be the negative marking, right? 0.25 will be negative marking. Then tier 2, we have descriptive test, 1 hour duration, 50 marks. Essay writing, we have 30 marks. And English comprehension, reading comprehension, 5 questions, each question carry 2 marks, that what you called 10 questions, it is 10 marks. And Pressy writing 10 marks, total 20. Pressy writing is nothing but your long passage will be given, you have to make it short, maybe 1/3 of its length, but essence should not be missed out. That means the central idea should be maintained, but you have to cut it short and rewrite the given paragraph there. Reading comprehension, passage followed by 5 questions, 2 marks. Then essay writing, internal choices will be given on current events. There will be 5 topics. You have to choose one. Choose one. Right? So all current topics will be asked. So it will be about, you need to write an essay in about 400 words. The marks assigned are 30 marks. Right? This is about your descriptive test. Tier 3 is interview for 100 marks plus your document verification. As a process, as a part of your interview, they may also conduct a psychometric test and the results will be made available to the panel members to have a better understanding about the candidate. Right? So this is about your tier 3 exam. So if you look at your cutoff marks, tier 1, unreserved 35 marks, OBC EWS 34, SC ST 33. Right? Then see, the point is, this is only the minimum cutoff mark. If you look at your actual cutoff mark, if you see here, how do you shortlist for tier 2? Based on your performance and normalization, candidates shortlisted for tier 2 10 times the number of vacancies. Let us say, if general category, if you look at, we have about roughly, how many vacancies? We had 377. So 377 into 10, roughly 3,770 candidates will be called for your tier 2 exam. Approximately 10 times the number of vacancies will be called for your tier 2 examination, right? And the cutoff mark, it does not mean that all those who got 35 marks will be called for tier 2 exam. No. The cutoff will be much higher than the figure that is quoted here. This is the minimum requirement. There's a minimum marks you should obtain to be considered for your next round. Now what happens? Let's say you got 40. If the paper is easy, the cutoff may be 70 or it may be even 70 plus. Paper is difficult, the cutoff may be 65 or it may be between 60 and 65. It all depends on the level of difficulty of the question. But I am saying the cutoff won't be 35. 35 is the minimum score which you are looking at. There's a bare minimum cutoff for anybody to be considered for next level. But once the people who have all crossed 35, the top 3,770, I am talking about general category, will be called for your tier 2 examination. That means cutoff may be 70, almost double. If you observe, almost will be double. So sometimes even slightly more than double, or if the paper is difficult, it will be less than double also. But roughly around, if you can look at 70 marks, then the top 3,770, they will be filtering there. The top 3,770 will be called for your tier 2 examination. That's the meaning of 10 times. Then tier 2 exam, 33% cutoff. That is 17 marks out of 50. Cutoff for tier 1, tier 2 may go higher depending upon the marks obtained by candidates and number of, that's what I am trying to say, depending on number of vacancies and marks obtained and difficulty level of paper, the cutoffs will go. These are only the minimum marks which you should look at getting to be qualified to be called for next level of exam. Right. Then 5 times, depending on your marks in tier 1 and tier 2, 5 times the number of vacancies will be called for interview, right? Then your final selection is based on marks obtained in tier 1 exam, tier 2 exam and your tier 3 exam. That is your interview. That is your final selection, your objective test plus descriptive test marks plus your tier 3. After this, you will be having a medical examination. Maybe if you are in Delhi, there will be medical examination at Delhi, or if you are from interior districts or some other state districts, district hospital you have to go for this medical test, students, right? This is about the cutoff marks and selection process. How to apply? You can apply from 25th November to 15th December. Only online mode of application is accepted. No other mode is accepted. Step 1, you have to register first. You have to give your email ID, your mobile number, you have to authenticate them. Then you have to come. Step 2 would be, once you do that, login ID and password will be sent to your email ID. You have to log in through using that user ID password, and you have to fill your basic details, personal details, percentage of marks, the other details. Then your application will be complete. Before you fill this, as per the dimensions and size mentioned in the notification, you should have your valid photograph, valid email ID and digital signature ready with you, right? You can apply only through online mode, students. That online mode is through www.mha.gov.in government website, that is your MHS website, Ministry of Home Affairs, or NCS portal, www.ncs.gov.in. Only these two are official websites. Don't go through any other website and pay. Cyber crimes you have to be aware of, right? So go to these government websites and you can pay your fees online, or you can pay through Challan, as I told you as what you call at the beginning. Any SBI branch you can visit, you can pay through Challan also, right? Then examination fee 100 rupees, recruitment processing charges 450, right? Male candidates of general category, EWS, OBC, you have to pay examination fee and recruitment process, that is 100 plus 450, they have to pay 550 rupees. That means recruitment, everybody should pay this recruitment processing charges. These male candidates of these categories should also pay examination fee. That is total coming around 550, right? So what we provide for this particular ABICO course, you can join online recorded classes, or you can join physical classes of Staff Selection Commission. This will take care of your comfortably you can clear IBACIO examination. Now students, for online recorded course, you can refer the description box, you can enroll online, you can watch the videos. Videos will be streamed according to your class timing, depending on 2-hour batch, 4-hour batch. So videos will be streamed, you can watch them online from your mobile also. Material will be given online. all PDFs, what you called, all material will be uploaded. You can go through those handouts also. If you want to join a physical batch, you have to contact your nearest time office. Go to the nearest time office and contact them. You can join in a SSC CGLE physical batch. We also offer IBACIO test series, right? If you want to enroll for test series, already I have prepared, sir, I want to refresh, I want to have practice, then you can look at test series. That link to join test series, to enroll for test series, is also given in the description box. So online recorded course to enroll, and to enroll for online this test series, the link to enroll are given in the descriptive box. You can go through those links and you can choose your variant of your choice. For physical classes, please contact our nearest time office, right? So this about all the information about the notification, students, and we wish you all the best for your upcoming examination. All the best, students.